In the last episode, I talked about how I transitioned from being an industry practitioner to academic researcher and applied for a research program multiple times, and finally I got accepted. This is a huge risk for me because I have zero experience in academic research. So it's almost like crossing from one discipline to a completely different one. So it's another big jump. And also a big decision because I was 35 years old at that moment and facing a choice that I quit this job at the world's #1 training institution and choose to become a research student with no salary at all. So I had to decide wisely, and I asked myself this question. Looking back 10 years from now, if I decided not to go, would I regret it? The answer is absolutely. So I made my decision. And that's how I embarked on this journey to study a research program completely from scratch. And to make this transition successful, I made lots of efforts. Throughout the entire year, I had been the first to arrive at the office and the last to leave. And at the end of the academic year, my efforts didn't go in waste. I got satisfaction on my research progress and also invited to speak at the annual event of the university. However, life is full of changes. I was experiencing consistent back pains, and I had some issues with the landlord, and there always bugs around, and I got into actually some doubts over the future of doing such research topics. I literally got broke, and I left no money in my bank account. So I decided to pause and think about, is this really the right direction? And I had to decide to continue my research study or go back home. And I had to choose the latter. And soon more changes happened. The epidemic followed, and soon the government issued a change in the policy. So I had to change career again. And when environment changes, the only thing we can do is to adapt to it. Luckily, a friend of mine works as a career coach. I consulted him, and he told me that my most experience is in human resource. So that's the moment I decided to go back to human resource. But this time I decided not to quit, but instead hurdled the same barriers that thwarted me in the past. In just a few weeks, I was able to find my strengths and secured several interviews. And then I accepted the offer from a small company. Though the pay was not ideal, but I knew that I had to prove myself first. And from day one, I found myself in a very strange situation. I was told to participate in a meeting. I then found myself to be the center of all blames from various departments. And all the managers criticized me that I didn't work effectively to find suitable talents for their departments. And nobody welcomed me as a new employee. So this never happened in the past. But I didn't like those criticism and negative feelings to become a hurdle again. So instead, under such immense pressure, I pulled out all the knowledge and skill I've accumulated in the past to try to help the company find suitable talents as quickly as possible. In less than 2 months' time, I helped close a dozen roles that had been unresolved for as long as 3 months to a whole year. And as I already sensed that this company doesn't have the kind of culture that is supportive and transparent. But with this result, I have full confidence that I can work any company I choose to work for. And later, I found a job as a China director for a famous European executive search company. In this role, I helped many of the world's leading companies hire C-level talents. And it was in this role that I discovered the gap for leadership impact across industries. And soon I started my own company and created the theory of sustainable leadership. And I've been able to find my biggest life purpose, that is to help leaders and ordinary people increase sustainable leadership to enable a lasting success in life, career, and business settings. And my lesson for all of you here is to try your best to embrace changes and face challenges head on instead of finding an easy way. And this helped me find my higher life purpose. And when I found my life purpose, it became really clear to me that this is a kind of career I would really enjoy for a lifetime. And no matter what happened, it will always give me meaning, joy, and courage to be who I really am and to really bring my unique value to this world and those around. And it makes me feel happy and passionate and meaningful every single day.